calling for the hacking of his opponent. There's a lot to investigate. Enough, in fact, that then Director Comey publicly acknowledged that he was leading an investigation into those links between Mr. Trump's campaign and the Russian government. As the director of the FBI, Mr. Comey was ultimately responsible for conducting that investigation, which might explain why you're sitting now as a private citizen. What we didn't know was at the same time that this investigation was proceeding, the president himself appears to have been engaged in an effort to influence or at least co-opt the director of the FBI. The testimony that Mr. Comey has submitted for today's hearing is very disturbing. For example, on January 27th, after summoning Director Comey to dinner, the president appears to have threatened the director's job while telling him, quote, "I need loyalty. I expect loyalty." At a later meeting, on February 14th, the president asked the Attorney General to leave the Oval Office so that he could privately ask Director Comey, again, quote, "to see way clear to letting Flynn go." That is a statement that Director Comey interpreted as a request that he drop the investigation connected to General Flynn's false statements. Think about it. The President of the United States asking the FBI director to drop an ongoing investigation. And after that, the President called the FBI director on 2 additional occasions, March 30th and April 11th, and asked him again, quote, to lift the cloud on the Russia investigation. Now, Director Comey denied each of these improper requests. The loyalty pledge, the admonition to drop the Flynn investigation, the request to lift the cloud on the Russia investigation. Of course, after his refusals, Director Comey was fired. The initial explanation for the firing didn't pass any smell test. Somehow Director Comey was fired because he didn't treat Hillary Clinton appropriately. Of course, that explanation lasted about a day because the president himself then made very clear that he was thinking about Russia when he decided to fire Director Comey. Shockingly, reports suggest that the president admitted as much in an Oval Office meeting with the Russians the day after Director Comey was fired. Disparaging our country's top law enforcement official as a quote-unquote nut job, the president allegedly suggested that his firing relieved great pressure on his feelings about Russia. This is not happening in isolation. At the same time the president was engaged in these efforts with Director Comey, he was also, at least allegedly, asking senior leaders of the intelligence community to downplay the Russian investigation or to intervene with the director. Yesterday, we had DNI Director Coates and NSA Director Admiral Rogers, who were offered a number of opportunities to flatly deny those press reports. They expressed their opinions, but they did not take that opportunity to deny those reports. They did not take advantage of that opportunity. In my belief, that's not how the President of the United States should behave. Regardless of the outcome of our investigation into the Russia links, Director Comey's firing and his testimony raise separate and troubling questions that we must get to the bottom of. Again, as I said at the outset, I've seen firsthand how seriously every member of this committee is taking his work. I'm proud of the committee's efforts so far. But let me be clear. This is not a witch hunt. This is not fake news.
Oh, here we go.
It is an effort to protect our country from a new threat that quite honestly will not go away anytime soon.
Oh, my God. The Russians.
So, Mr. Comey, your testimony here today will help us move towards that goal. I look forward to that testimony.
This is like Russia mania. I'm just thinking, man, we need to get some beef stroganoff, the best Russian stroganoff we possibly can have, get some Russian booze, and let's just have a Russia fiesta of some kind. Jesus. I mean, this is just bizarre. The Russians have not gone to our voter registration place. They haven't broken into the computers. They did not brainwash America to vote for Donald Trump. who has brainwashed or has attempted to do this very methodically and intelligently is the mainstream media. Liberal California in the movies. Our comedians. Billionaires like George Soros. All that money, all that influence. What's more dangerous, the Russians or our media? I would guess our media. I would guess California and Hollywood. Give me a break. This is ridiculous. And there's been these stupid war games going on for hundreds of years. Since the founding of our country has there been spies. Because of internet, because of the internet, because of the interconnections, it makes it easier for foreign governments to get in and sift through this information and use it against us. That's why cybersecurity should be the number one concern, first and foremost. Number one concern. How did they get into the computer system in the first place? You would think that governmental buildings and this top intel information would be well guarded. How guarded are the computers anyway? Dear God. I mean, get to the bottom of the problem. Why do we have the intel problems to begin with? Because there's a breakdown and nobody's managing this intelligently or giving really straight answers. And that's the conversation that should be going on in Washington today. It angers me and frustrates me. Yes, let's talk about it. Is there any wrongdoing that Donald Trump had? And there's nothing. There's nothing here, folks. This is a big charade. And they won't be happy with the end of the investigation here because they'll just sit there and say that he's disingenuous. I told you that James Comey thought that Donald Trump was disingenuous, thought he was a liar. That's why he started taking notes, blah, blah, blah. And then the reference to the Flynn investigation. And not the broader investigation into Russia's possible links to the campaign. I mean, they're trying to cook him with Russia, trying to cook him with lies, trying to cook him with strongholding Comey to shut down an investigation to undermine everything that the Trump administration stands for. Is it so bad to ask for loyalty? And by the way, Michael Flynn was a good man and a good guy. It's unfortunate how he had to go down with conversations to do with money and speeches and all that with Russia. It's unfortunate. I think that he just did not have right information, should not have taken payment for his speech, got himself too involved with foreign government, and that's something that needs to be widely talked about and discussed for anybody in power to be careful about. And who hasn't been careful? Barack Obama. He's accepted money from foreign governments. I mean, he afforded an $8 million house, over $8 million. Was it 18 mil? In Washington, D.C. How do you afford that? Come on, folks, wake up. There's always much more to the story. Oh, yeah. And then Clinton, all that money, too, and giving speeches over there. Come on. But don't point the fingers at nobody. No, don't do that. That would just be so right, actually. The investigations do continue on Capitol Hill in questions. We'll be there for you to discuss. We'll be back.
Can you survive this thing called life? We're for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
It's unlike anything you've ever been through in your life, man. I was driving. This kid threw a grenade at us. It went right over our vehicle. It was 12 years old.
The shockwave went through my head, rattled up my brain, and left.
Danger is around you 360 degrees at all times, and you can't unlearn that.
It's impossible to describe the sacrifices these men and women have made to protect our freedoms. And the job of rebuilding their lives is massive and growing every day. Many will need the programs offered by the Wounded Warrior Project for years to come.
I didn't know what PTSD was. All I knew is I was having nightmares. And when I got released, my reintegration was go check in at the VA, man.
My first coping mechanism was use drugs. Just numb it. Don't feel anything.
I was angry. I'm trying to pull myself out of that right now.
Your gift today of $19 per month will honor and empower these veterans so they can aid and assist each other.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a life raft.
I can say this without question that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for it.
Wounded Warrior Project is the first step, getting back out into the world and reforming yourself outside of the service.
Call or go online with a pledge of $19 a month. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket, and your gift will provide critically needed programs that rebuild lives.
That was my first feeling of actually being something bigger than myself again.
Well, I lost a few really close friends overseas, and if I quit, I'm going to let them down, and I'm not about to do that.
I'm learning to face my fears head on.
To trust and see what happens at the end.
It's a long process, but I had the drive and desire.
Please, call or go online with your gift right now.
Making a difference is something we strive to do each day at For the People. Our broadcast takes today's news and puts it into perspective with a common sense approach. Even Bill Clinton on the stump said that it was broken, it was laughable, it was a joke, it wasn't helping people, real people, it wasn't, because the premiums are too high. For the People needs your help. We are asking you to help us raise $5,000 so we can get the word out to more places that might one day carry For the People. Just log on to For the People's website at forthepeopleshow.com. By partnering with us, you're ensuring our survival and giving others the opportunity to hear a quality show that cares about America and your future. To make a donation, type forthepeopleshow.com into your browser. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Thank you for your support. The internet is a big place, but 123 Ready TV has made it easy to start enjoying all of the current movies you enjoy and those movie classics. What if I told you that you could start streaming everything now and all the latest movies for just $19.99? And it's a one-time charge, not monthly. 123 Ready TV is a media app that you can have on your PC or your Android phone. You see, this app allows you to stream movies and TV shows, weather, and anything you already have on your PC or your phone or on the internet. Plus, no commercials. Find out why so many people are using this amazing media player. Start saving money and start enjoying all your favorite TV shows now and movies for just a one-time payment of $19.99. To get yours, go to forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com and click on the store page for your 123 Ready TV. And welcome back. For the People, by the way, is heard on radio stations coast to coast daily. And we're also found on the World Web at our website live each day. You can pick up our live broadcast at forthepeopleshow.com. And if you've been wanting our show to be heard on your local radio station and it's not, you can help. You can call your local radio station. You can send them an email, maybe get some friends together and tell them you like the show. And you know what? Believe it or not, you can make a difference in doing that. You may call, maybe you have a mom and pop station. You give them a call, you'd be surprised, but I could use your help. We're trying to grow For the People across the country, and as many of you know that support For the People, this is a reboot of For the People with Chuck Harder. We rebooted it with Chuck with the intention of him actually being on the air, but just due to health problems, in his retirement, he's not able to do the broadcast. So we're carrying on, carrying the torch, and we're getting some good reviews and some great radio markets, and also folks that listen via podcast each and every day. And I appreciate your loyal support. I appreciate that. And I guess that's not collusion with the Russians to ask for your loyalty, but I do appreciate it sincerely for all of you